Hey guys, and welcome back. If you're new here, this is the space of all things circus and handstands and fitness and health. And today, as you probably saw from the intro video, we are talking about how to walk in a handstand. So let's jump straight into this video. So to start off with, as a sort of like prerequisite, a prerequisite is that you need to be able to kick into a handstand and hold it 10, 15, 20 seconds. That's probably like a really good ideal spot, and preferably with semi-decent form. But honestly, that doesn't matter as much in your handstand walking because you have a slightly different shape to when you're doing a free holding handstand. If you are still struggling on kicking up to handstand, I have a little tutorial on that, so I'll put that up in the cards and down in the description below. So go and work on that a whole bunch, and then once you have a really nice kick to handstand and you can hold your handstand for 15 seconds, then you're good to go. I have heaps of other handstand videos if you're trying to look at bumping up the timing of your handstand and just in general getting them better. So I'll link them down in the description below. As I said before, our handstand shape is going to be a little bit different to your normal free hold and against the wall, because what you want to do, you want your feet to go over you a little bit more. Now this usually ends up in the form of a arched handstand shape, but you don't want it to be like too extreme, because if you're doing lots of handstand walking, then you're gonna probably start getting some injuries. So we want a little bit of like heels over our body, and that'll help us to get moving. Next up is you want to make sure that you are looking at your hands, because that way you can see where you're going. Not only do you want to be looking down at your hands, but you want your fingers facing forwards. None of this sideways crap. That's just going to injure your wrist. So super important, fingers facing forwards unless you want to get wrist injuries. And then lastly, it's really important that we have body tension. Body tension is super important in your handstand walk, because if you have a floppy ass body, reenactment of me attempting that, not gonna go well. It's gonna be so much harder because you're gonna have like all these like separate limbs flailing around everywhere, whereas when you're tight and your legs are together, it kind of makes your whole body like one unit rather than all of these different floppy parts trying to move you around. So, tight body, and that includes squeezing your legs together. And now we are going to go into some drills to help start you getting ready to walk in your handstand. But before that, please make sure that you warm up your wrists and your shoulders, because nobody wants to get injured. Nobody. Not even me. And I'm really bad sometimes. Yeah. So yeah, just give your arms a couple like circles. Do some bicep stretches. Triceps. But if you do want a more of a full-on sort of like follow-along routine and like some more handstand warm-up exercises and stuff, I have a short and sweet 5-minute handstand warm-up routine. I'll link it up in the cards and then also down below if you do want that. But, after you've warmed up, let's get into these drills. Okay, so most of these will be against the wall and leading you up to trying it free walking. The first one that we're going to be doing is hand lifts. Now, if you're really struggling with this one, like against the wall fully, you can also try this in a plank position and lifting up your hands. And you can also do it on a box with your legs on, so you're in this half handstand position. Now, a really important thing with this drill is you want to start to get a feel of how your weight transfers from hand to hand. And another important bit when you're starting to lift your hand up is you want to try and get this rhythmic sort of pace. Because when you're walking, if it's a really sort of stuttery, like hand, 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 it's not gonna be as easy as it could. Because when you get like a really nice steady pace of walking, it makes it so much easier. because then you can kind of like flow into the walk. All right, the next drill is handstand taps. So once again, you can do this against the wall or you can do it in the half handstand position. There is so much traffic. I'm sorry if it's in the background. Once again, this drill will help you to feel what it's like to shift your weight from side to side, and you really want to focus on trying to get it nice and like rhythmic and not having like long pauses in between each lift. So for this one, you can actually tap different parts of your arms. So you can actually start off with tapping your other wrist, and then you can lead up to tapping your elbow, and then you can lead up to tapping your shoulder. Now you don't have to go all the way up to your shoulder. I think your shoulder is pretty extreme and quite hard, but the idea is that you want to bring it quickly up to your arm and then bring it back down to the ground. Now, if you're first learning this and this scares you, do it on carpet, do it on some grass, because just sensibility. Don't injure yourself on concrete. Another really important aspect, because I'm all about that safety life and not hurting yourself, is when you're doing these drills, making sure that you know how to fall out of it safely or come down from it. So check out my how to fall out of a handstand safely if you don't know how to come out of it. All right, and our final drill before we attempt the actual like handstand walking is wall walkaways. So this time, instead, you're going to start up against the wall, and then you are going to lean your toes over yourself and use that momentum to help you to step away from the wall. Now, as I said before, please fall out of your handstand safely, because this is probably when you're going to need it. But as you can see from the video, I let my heels lean a little bit before taking my first step. Woo, woo, woo. Okay, now that our drills are done, we can finally move on to the actual like walking. Now, if you're really nervous about doing this freestanding, grab a friend, get them to spot you and get them to put their arms behind you so that if you do fall over, they're there to catch you. Just don't kick each other. And then finally, we want to sort of like combine those things that we talked about. So having a nice clean kick up to handstand, using our heels to lean and to start that momentum, and then keeping nice, even steps with our hands. All right, and that is it for these drills and tips for how to walk in a handstand. If you do give any of these, please tag me on Instagram. I'd love to see you guys' progress and thoughts on if these drills were helpful. And if you did find this video helpful, please give it a like. Really supports my channel and the YouTube algorithm. And subscribe if you want to see more. And click that little notification bell to be notified whenever I upload a new video, which is usually once a week on Sundays or Mondays. And I'll see you guys next time.